you probably have one of these at home. These tape measures come with so many features, a lot of them get overlooked. A couple of them are even a little mysterious, but we're going to go through all that and help you get the best bang for your buck whenever you use one of these. Hey, this is Dave at housebarons.com. Today, we're going to show you how to use a tape measure most effectively. One of the first things you notice about all these tape measures is there's a distinct curve to the tape measure itself. The purpose of that curve is so that you can extend it, and as you extend it, it holds its shape, which is, advantageous if you're trying to reach out somewhere to measure. All of these metal tape measures have the pronounced curve in them and will hold their shape for some distance. This is a true tape measure. This is completely flexible and won't hold its shape. It's really meant for much more long distance measuring, say property or the like. These two tape measures, you can see the lines on those tape measures are a little different. In the first foot of this tape measure, you can get down to a 32nd of an inch. And in construction, that's not something that you would really be looking to use it for, but a household task, you could get to something that fine if you really wanted to make a precise measurement. On many tape measures, there's an embossed area on the bottom of the tape measure, and that embossed area this one reads 3 1/4 inches / 83 millimeters. And this one here reads 3 1/4 inches, and this one 3 inches, and it's 76 millimeters. What they're doing by telling you that is they're telling you how big that body size is. And when you measure something, you can look at what the tape says. So let's say you measure something and it says it's 7 inches on the tape. You can still add that body size and know what the measurement is out to here. 3 1/4 plus the 7, so that'd be 10 1/4 from this point to this end of the body. If you were in a tight space where you could just stick this into it and get a measurement on the tape itself and then just add the body dimension, that gives you another way of measuring. Another useful feature is the clip. If you notice on this tape measure, it slides in and out just a bit. It's not fastened to the tape permanently, but it has a little bit of movement in it. And that's done on purpose. So for instance, if I wanted to measure across this window, I clip it onto to the end, and it pulls that little black clip out as far as it can go, and then I can get my measurement. Now I added this board to the side of the window, and so now if this were fastened there and I couldn't get my clip inside that gap there, I can still take the measurement by butting the end of this black clip up to that board, and when I do, it will push in. And so when I measure butted up to that board, I still get 24 1/8. And the reason being is that this clip moves enough to make up for the difference in the width of that clip. And that clip is a 1/16 of an inch. So it moves just enough to make up the difference. So I could take a measurement by butting this to a space and measuring, or if I could hook it on to that end and measure, and I'm going to get the same measurement because the tape measure allows this clip to move and take this clip out of the measurement. Another useful feature is the ends of this clip. As you can see there, this clip just has the bottom edge that goes down, whereas the clip on this one can hook from the top or the bottom. So now when I measure this window, I can hook it onto the edge of the window like that and read the measurement. Or, let's say I needed to, for whatever reason, hook it on this way, I can hook it on from the back and still read the measurement. So it's nice when you buy a tape measure if it has that clip, so you can be clipped on the front or the back. It's a nice advantage. Another useful feature on these is at the very end of the tape measure, you can see a little hole right at the very end of this is a nail grab. It's usually just a little slot, and what it does is it allows you to hook onto a nail, and the nail goes through that hole, and then the tape measure is right at the shaft of the nail. So it's a great way to hook that on there and be able to take a longer distance measurement by using that little hook. Another feature that makes a lot of sense if you need to do a measurement and keep the tape out is just sliding down the lock, and that holds it so you no longer have to hold the tape. And then when you're done using it, you can just pull it out and the tape will retract. One more thing is about how to read a tape. So here we have a blow up of the tape measure in between, say, inch 2 and inch 3. That whole area right there is an inch, and then it's divided by these longer lines that almost touch. That's half the distance from 2 to 3, or 2.5 inches. And that's further subdivided by the next shortest line, which would be a quarter. And then subdivided again to the next shortest line, which is eighths. So you have 8 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then divided again down to the next smallest line is a 16th. So there's 16 of these smaller squares. And on one of these tape measures, there's even another subdivision in the first foot that goes down to 30/2 of an inch. Understanding how to correctly read the tape measure goes a long way to making good, accurate measurements. So on tape measures, your first marking of note is the 1F or 1 foot mark, and usually they're done by arrows or blocking at this area. And so at a glance, you can quickly see these markings here. And another interesting marking that's very useful is this red 16, red 32, red 48. The red markings are 16 inches apart, the typical measurement of a stud. And so when you're looking to lay out a wall or find where a stud might be behind the drywall, if you know where one stud is, you can find all the others. And then there's this last little one, and this one gets overlooked a lot. If you want to try to stump somebody, you can ask them what that black diamond means. It's at 19 3/16, and then every 19 3/16 inches later, there's the next one. And between 0 and 8 feet, there's 5 spacings. And the purpose is to use those markings to separate engineered joists, engineered I-timbers. They're stronger than typical wood, so they can give you one less joist if you're relying on those. It's not something that's used a lot, but it's, again, whether it's the 1 foot mark or the stud numbers on every 16 inches or the engineered timbers at 9 3/16, those markings are there just to help you see things faster, do your work faster, because they're so prominent. There literally are so many features packed into one simple little tape measure. And once you get to see all of them, I think you'll appreciate it all the more as you use this to greater effectiveness down the road. Well, I hope this video helped. Don't forget to subscribe. We've got lots of videos coming, and we want you to see them all. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.